Do you understand how many hedge funds would pay you millions of dollars if you had the ability to, with a high degree of accuracy, tell them when something is close to stopping its momentum to the downside or upside for that matter? Like, that skill is worth millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. The widest three-finger spread will 8 to 9 times out of every 10 times find you the bottom, and the top. It works the other way as well. If the space you found the widest, listen to me carefully, if now from the widest the space goes to narrow without breaking, your next direction is up. Do you understand how valuable that is? The ability to be able to say, okay, the next direction's up, and to be right 8, 9 times out of every 10. To be right 8, 9 times out of every 10, to know the next direction 8 times out of every 10 is a freaking lottery ticket that wins 8 to 9 times you play it. Every single thing, every single technical thing that I share with you is something that I actually use. My traders and I in particular use virtually every single day in my trading. So today, what we're going to do, we are going to focus on a concept that I have harped on a number of times before, but today we're going to revisit this and do a little bit more of a deep dive. The technical concept of space. But I want to talk to you about how I use space to gain a little bit of edge on other traders, how I use the concept of space to increase the quality of my trade selections, how I use the concept of space to assess higher degrees of probability. So how I use space to shift the odds in my favor. It's a very, very integral part of my trading, and I want to share it with you today. I can even use the first thing I have up here. I have Bitcoin. It's one of the things I watch most closely in my life today. Most of you should know that by now. We're looking at right now a 15-minute chart of Bitcoin. Each bar represents 15 minutes of trading. Every single bar you see represents 15 minutes of trading, right? If you've been following my work for any period of time, you know that I do not ever look at a chart without 2 key moving averages on them. The blue line is the 20-period moving average, which you see here. All right, the blue line, or the blue moving average, is the 20-period moving average. These are all simple moving averages. And of course, the red one is the 200-period moving average. Now, as far as I'm concerned, a chart is not a chart unless I'm looking at the chart through the eyes of these 2 moving averages. The concept of space is predicated on these 2 moving average as well as the price. So item number 1 we need for the concept of space is we need the price, of course. Item number 2 is we need the 20-period moving average, 20 MA. And item number 3, we need the 200-period moving average. So it is with these 3 items that we can now create or bring about or bring alive the concept of space. Whenever there is space between each one, it's significant. So whenever the 20 and the 200 move apart to have a wide space, that is significant. Whenever they move together to have almost no space, that is significant. Let's look at this. Let me draw this diagram for you. Let us say that you have a 200 here, and then you have also the 20 here. Now, at this point, there is little to no space between the 2 moving averages. But you could have something like that. There is space between the 20 and 200, whereas at here, there's little to no space. So on the left, there's little to no space. On the right-hand side here, there is space. That's the space concept using the 20 and the 200. But there's also a third item that can create space, which is the price. And if the price can also, boom, look at that, separate itself from one of the other 2 items, you have a third item that comes into existence that creates another degree of space. And that is where the price separates from the 20, okay? So notice here in my diagram that the price and the 20 are relatively close. But it is here that price starts accelerating away from the 20. And it is here that we have a second zone of space. Zone 1 is the space between the 20 and the 200. Zone 2, if you get it, you don't always get zone 2, or you don't get that dual layer of space all the time, but sometimes your stock or your underlying item can accelerate faster than the moving average can keep up, creating a second zone or second layer of space. So diagrammed another way, it can look like this. I sometimes refer to this as the three-finger spread: 200, 20, and price. Neither of the single individual items are close to each other. Here, all three of them are close. That is what we call a narrow state. Here, none of them are close. This is what we call a wide state with two zones of space. We call this dual space. Remember that term, dual space. It doesn't matter where you put the 1 or 2, just so that you understand that there's 2 layers of space here. This is where this becomes very valuable, guys. Your accuracy, your very consistency, your very ability to act when the odds are the greatest in your favor, when the winds are blowing behind your sail so powerfully that all you got to do is throw your mask up, throw your win item up, and boom, you're moving in the desired direction. Your greatest ability to be able to do that, your consistency in your trading is predicated on this. Your accuracy is predicated on this. Your ability to choose wisely is predicated on this. Which direction to choose, which direction wisely is predicated on this. And whether or not you play mostly when the odds are in your favor versus when the odds are against your favor is predicated on this. Most novices are acting when the odds are not in their favor. And on top of that, they have no idea how to determine if the odds are in my favor or against me, not in my favor. This is where it all starts, guys. All of that is predicated on this. Let's get back. If we even take this 15-minute chart we never trade BTC, so please don't get this twisted. I'm just using the chart as an example. I'm only going to tell you to accumulate BTC, to never trade it. We trade other things for BTC. On the left-hand side of the chart, you see all 3 items. Remember the 3 items: price, 20, and 200. They're all clustered together. See, all clustered together, all 3 of them. That is the narrow state. What you see is the 20-period moving average begins to leave the 200s, leave the narrow state, and starts to separate itself from the 200 above it. So we have that first layer of space. Remember the 3-finger spread? So you got the 200. The first layer is when the 20 separates from the 200. So we got the first layer here. But you get moments of layer 3. So moments where your price gets separated from the 20 and the 20 gets separated from the 200. So not so wide, but still wide. Here, price, here's a 3-finger spread. Price, 20, 200. And here you have 200, 20, price. Connect these, and so forth and so on. You see the 3-finger spread. Now, sometimes zone 1 is thicker than zone 2, and so forth and so on. Here, I want you to just find all of your 3-finger spreads on the chart. You have 1 here, to here where you got price, 20, and 200. Price, 20, and 200. Then we get a really wide one here. Price, 20, 200. You see them? You see all of them? I'm hoping you're following me here. You're catching all of them, right? Because I'm going to show you something after I know that you can catch them. Price, 20, 200. You got this so far, right? I want you to look at all of these. I'm going to draw a line in a different color through all of these, through all of your different threes. Tell me, I'm going to number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of all 5 three-finger spread scenarios, which number is the widest? Which one has the widest zone 1 and 2? Remember, zone 1 and 2. Top layer of space, bottom layer of space. Which one of the numbers has both 1 and 2, or top layer and bottom layer, the widest? Number 4, you guys got it. Yes, number 4, number 4, number 4. Just your ability to do that. Just that. Just to get that right. You have tremendous odds. You have odds greater than almost anybody else of becoming good at this, and becoming good at trading, and becoming a master. Just your ability to do that. You think it's simple because I've made it simple, but it is. Don't confuse the simplicity for lack of power. Let's go back. Let me show you this. Check this out. Smoke on this. So, the widest one is when you are getting close to at least a temporary bottom. You are either at the bottom or you're close to it. Now look, let's take this bottom part and let's draw a line across it. Isn't that the bottom so far? You see what I'm saying? So you've got the widest zone, found the bottom so far. Now, could it break? Yes. But the fact is that it found the temporary bottom. Nothing else was able to break it thus far. This is crazy, guys. Do you understand how many hedge funds would pay you millions of dollars if you had the ability to, with a high degree of accuracy, tell them when something is close to stopping its momentum to the downside or upside for that matter? Like, that skill is worth millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. The widest three-finger spread will 8 to 9 times out of every 10 times find you the bottom and the top. It works the other way as well. If the space you found the widest, listen to me carefully, if now from the widest the space goes to narrow without breaking, your next direction is up. Do you see? So let me try to draw this. You've gone from wide, you've gone from the widest, like that. Now you're no longer making lows. Without making a new low, everything goes narrow again. Everything goes narrow again. To all 3 items coming close together. Your price, your 20, just like over here. See? If that forms again over here, your next direction is up. You've completed the cycle. You've gone from narrow to narrow. We started from narrow. If we go back to narrow down here, over here somewhere, your next direction is up. Do you understand what I'm saying so far? Does this make sense? Narrow to narrow without breaking the low of the 3-finger spread, you're near your reversal. Guys, do you understand how valuable that shit is? Do you understand how valuable that is? The ability to be able to say, okay, the next direction's up, and to be right 8, 9 times out of every 10. To be right 8, 9 times out of every 10, to know the next direction 8 times out of every 10 is a freaking lottery ticket that wins 8 to 9 times you play it. It's huge. You can turn that one thing into millions upon millions upon millions of dollars if you have the capital. You can't predict with 100% accuracy anything. So you got to prepare for that 1 to 2 times out of every 10 you're wrong with this. But just knowing the concept, guys, this concept, you are elite with just this concept. Like most people hanging out in chat rooms on Facebook and chatting with their friends. Oh, I'm taking this trade. I'm going in here because there's earnings. You blow them away with this. You are head and shoulders right now, with just that knowledge. You're head and shoulders above all of them. All of those bozos. I'm telling you. The same thing works in reverse, okay? So why don't we take a look at something reverse, okay? Let's look at how some of my traders today, but I want to show you what Ari, and not just Ari, a bunch of my traders did this. He shorted based on the 3-finger spread. So we're going to go to NVIDIA. Now remember, we trade mostly on the 2-minute chart. So we're going to go to 2 minutes and we're going to change the symbol to NVIDIA. And I want to show you this play by Ari today. So some of my traders took the long in NVIDIA this morning. And Ari will tell us if he was one of the long traders too. I don't know, but a bunch of traders took the bottoming tail bar play. Notice the space is not that far. Guys, they don't have to be touching. They just have to be relatively close, right? So your 3 fingers are relatively close. Starting off the day, they take the bottoming tail bar play, they add on the first color change. All of this I've explained in detail to you right here on this YouTube channel. Always adding on the first color change. If you haven't gone through my master classes, then what are you doing? Like, I'm offering you literally Bitcoin and gold for free, and you don't want to put the time into the work. You're the one messing up. You're the one holding yourself back. All of these things are explained here. Bottoming tail bar play, a gap out of a narrow state, boom, first buy, boom, first color change, second buy. All right, profit take, right? Now, notice that you go to 3-finger spread, 3-finger spread. In addition to 3-finger spread, there is a reversal time here. Now, this is not the time for me to go into a deep dive regarding reversal times. My traders know that there are certain times that are more prone to produce a sharp turn in the market. This is one of your first reversal time frames in the market. There are 7 reversal time frames. Okay, this is one of the 7. So we've got this 3-finger spread at the first reversal time frame. And I want you to take a look at when does the biggest red bar of the day occur. Look at when the biggest red bar of the day occurs, right from your 3-finger spread. This red bar is bigger than this one, bigger than this one, bigger than all of them. It's the biggest red bar of all. So what does Ari do? He jumps in, and several other traders as well. They jump inside of this bar before it finishes trading, stop above the high. All right, I think Ari did 3 lots. Ari takes some gains off the table here, if I'm not mistaken. So he takes 2 off here, and he takes the other one off, following a bar by bar trailing stop. Boom, out, right there. You couldn't have played this move to the downside better. He grabbed almost every single drop that it had to offer. He even knew when to get out, which is based on our 50% profit-taking rule. So this is the top 50% of the move. This is the bottom 50%. When you're shorting near the top, you go for the 50-cent mark, the 50% mark. You don't get freaking greedy like a little tiny piggy, oink, 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 and go for this. That's what novices do. The pros are satisfied with the halfway mark most of the time. Now, the only thing I will say about Ari's play here, boom, 3 lots, 3-finger spread play, right? Stop, Profit take is okay. He didn't add on this color change. So he missed that opportunity, unless I'm mistaken. I don't think he added here. He should have added there. But maybe he did. Maybe he can tell you he did or not. I can't remember. One of my traders didn't add, and I made a note with them. I made them aware of the fact that they should have added there. All right. But these exits are perfect. Incrementally exiting like I teach you. Low risk. So look at, guys, look at the risk going into the bar, stop. So above the bar. So here's your risk and here's the reward. Now, how many of those risk units, that's your risk unit, fit inside of your reward unit? A lot of them. That's how you stay in business in this game, people. Do you understand? That's how you win, making your risk unit small in comparison to your average profit unit. And so a lot of these risk units fit inside of this profit unit. And if you can keep the majority of your trades like that, where you're risking a fraction of the profit that you gain, you're in this game forever, forever. And so, guys, I had some traders that whacked this both ways. Long, stop, add, profit take, incrementally profit taking, like I teach you. And then enter again, short, profit take, should have add, first color change, profit take. Isn't it the same thing just in reverse? The long one is longer. That makes sense because we're above the moving averages. The short trade is shorter, but still it's the same thing. So if you were to put these pictures together, it would look like this. Enter, add, profit take, and profit take. You want to incrementally come out of the trade. And then if you did it the reverse, it would look like this. Enter. Well, this one he did. Profit take. Add. Profit take. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. It's always the same, guys. We're playing boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's every trade. Boom, boom, boom. Even downward. Boom, boom, boom. Look at it. Boom, boom, boom. The downward one. Boom, boom, boom. All right, now it's your turn. You say it. All right? I just want to see somebody say it. Boom, boom, boom. Right now. I'm not even going to go on until you say it. Type it for me. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Do it. Boom, boom, boom. So, guys, you can freaking take this and we can just go through some markets and just practice identifying three-finger spreads and seeing how they turn. To be able to practice it like that, find the widest three-finger spread on this chart. Find the widest one. I'm sure that's pretty easy for you to do. I'll give you a moment here. Find the widest one. Remember, price 20 and 200. Give you a few seconds here. You got it? Got the widest one, right? It's right there in the middle of the image, right? Price, price. All right, so there's your widest one right there. That's the widest three-finger spread. You see the turn? Notice how your big moves happen when you go back to narrow. So you see how you go back to narrow here? Look at the moving average, get close to the other moving average again, you see? And it is at the narrow state that you explode out again, you see? So this is why once you go back to narrow, the market resets itself. Now it could go this way, or this way from the narrow state. You don't really have to know in advance. You just have to see when the biggest bar emerges, right? There's the biggest bar. So you know that from the narrow state, now the move is down. And how do you play this? Boom. You see that green right there? Let me open it up for you. I'll open it up for you so you can see it. Narrow state. Look how close the moving averages got to each other. Now, out of this narrow state, what bar emerges as the most powerful? Right here. Boom. Boom. What's my first color change? Right here. Boom. 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 All right. You get the three finger spread here. Very wide apart. Three finger spread very wide apart. And you know reversal is more likely now. It's a simple concept that a 12-year-old can deploy, but don't confuse simplicity for lack of power. That is what I don't want you to do. You'll always be able to now, I just want you pulling things up and grabbing the three finger and watching to see if you stall from the three finger. Now, there's one little nuance I will tell you about this. You see how this is almost like railroad tracks with the 20? That's not a spread. Your spread is not a railroad track. So if your stock is doing this and your moving average is almost parallel with the stock, that's not a spread. Your stock has to accelerate away from that moving average to be a spread. So your spread is here, not here. Your spread is here. So this is, I know we stalled up here, but it's not really the spread I'm talking about. You've got the one layer spread, but you don't have the two layer spread here. Here you have the two layer spread. See how we accelerate away from the 20. So now you have the three finger spread. And you can literally, guys, you can literally do this all day long, just picking different things. Boom. 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 And really, not a significant new high after that first one. And here we go again. Biggest red bar. Boom. 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 Look at the drop from the three finger spread. Look at it. Let me pull it over to you. Let me do the sound. I got to do that sound for you. I got to do it. You know me. I got to do it. Blow it up real nice. So you got the three finger spread way up here, right? Boom. Really wide there. And then biggest red bar. Boom. All right. So now what do you get? Boom. 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 It's always the same, guys. It's always the same. You see the drop? I can open the bars up a little bit and you'll see the drop. That's all we're after. Boom. Then the bounce. Boom. Boom. That's all we want. It's not a lot to ask for. Is it a lot to ask for or what? No. Everything is really like that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I love it. Space, guys. Space concept will take your profits to outer space. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go out into the markets, any market, any time frame, options, bonds, stocks, futures, cryptos, I don't care, whatever it is. Any time frame, pick a time frame. 2 minute, 1 minute, 5 minute, hourly, daily, weekly, yearly, decade-long chart. I don't care. Practice finding three finger spread scenarios. Now, specifically, three finger spreads that reverse with a power bar. Those are the creme de la creme. Do you understand? Three finger spread and reverse with a power bar. And watch your acumen, your sophistication go to an incredibly high level, higher than it is now. Just practicing that. Three finger spread, power bar. Three finger spread, power bar. Three finger spread, power bar. Three finger spread, power bar.